Normally I'd say something funny, but I'm a bit sick, so apologies for my voice this week. Hello and welcome to Escape from Mount Backlog, one man's quest to defeat his game's library. Today, for Strategy Month, we'll be looking at Dungeons 2. Dungeons 2 is basically the Dungeon Keeper 3 we were promised. Okay, bye. Alright. I'm not making it that easy. Yes, technically, War for the Overworld is more linked as the spiritual successor, what with it having started out as literally a fan-made sequel to Dungeon Keeper 2, and swiping the name from the subtitle of the old defunct Dungeon Keeper 3, and having an art style that is deliberately polygonal, very much like Dungeon Keeper 2. But I'm not playing War for the Overworld. I found Dungeons 2 in my library, so here we are then. Oh, fun fact, both War for the Overworld and Dungeons 2 released in April of 2015. It reminds me of those times we got two very similar movies close together, like Deep Impact and Armageddon, or
Volcano
and Dante's Peak, or Godfather Part 2 and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, those classic coincidences. Dungeons 2 was developed by Realm Forge Studios, who basically nailed the vibe of Dungeon Keeper 2. In my nostalgia-ridden mind, I mean. But seriously though, Dungeon Keeper 2 came out in 1999. That's 18 years ago. The publisher behind Dungeons 2 is Calypso Media. Basically the biggest strategy publisher you've always ignored. I mean, think of it this way. The three biggest publishers in this realm at the moment are Paradox Interactive, you know, the guys behind Stellaris, Europa Universalis, Crusader Kings, Hearts of Iron, 2K, who publish Civilization and XCOM games, and I never thought this would be a thing, but Sega, who publish Total War, Dawn of War, and recently partnered with Amplitude Studios, bringing the Endless series under their umbrella. And then you get Calypso Media, who in the past 10 years have published more strategy games than probably all of those others put together. I mean, it's tricky to do the research on who published what, because Relic used to be with THQ, but then Sega. Endless Space was published by not Sega. Endless Legend was self-published. Paradox do their own thing and basically work on a game forever. Seriously, CK2 came out in 2012, and they're still making DLC for it. Basically what I'm saying is you've probably come across Calypso games before, but haven't noticed. Games like Tropico 3, Disciples 3, or Port Royale 3, and the upcoming Dungeons 3 out in October, I think. Actually, Calypso are not afraid of publishing games with a number 3 in the title, unlike someone else we won't mention. Anyway, Dungeons 2 then. If you've played Dungeon Keeper 2, you know at least half the score. To know the other half, sometime in literally any basic RTS, like Warcraft 3, may have been necessary. Appropriate because of the art style and character design. What I mean with that is, this game looks like what I remember Warcraft 3 looking like way back when I had a single core CPU and a 64 megabyte GeForce 2 graphics card. But I'm waffling. Focus up. If it seems like I'm grasping here or pulling at straws, it's because Realm Forge's wiki is non-existent and their website is trash garbage. The place could be staffed by German kobolds for all I know. So apologies for not being able to tell you more about this developer, but basically it looks like mostly shovelware and then dungeons. Gameplay for Dungeons 2 is split into two halves. You have the classic dungeon management layer, you know, underground, and the only way to properly describe it is it's Dungeon Keeper 2. You drag boxes around areas you want excavated, and your minions obey without your direct control. Yes, you can pick them up and fling them around, and yes, you can even slap them. You assign rooms to spaces, and this increases your capacity for gold, food, and mana. Now where it deviates is when you go to the surface. Yes, units can be sent up through portals to the surface world, so you can take the fight to the heroes. In simple terms, mind. Very basic troop control with some abilities. It's basically analogous to baby's first RTS. And that's fine, really. The most basic controls on the surface world means you're not scaring away the core dungeon manager demographic. They don't care about your 200 APM or your micro skills. This is a game for pleasure, not for esports. And for the first few missions, the difficulty is somewhere between easy AF and straight up casual, to the point where if you lose a mission critical unit, the game will just spawn you a new one. There was no obvious fail state. So far, Dungeons 2, even though I am enjoying it, is just painfully average. It's not the best in class in any one field. That is until you recognize the voice of the narrator.
It wasn't a grubby damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it.
Sound familiar? Well, maybe you know it from here.
A man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
That's right, it's Kevin Brighting from the Stanley Parable, and he delivers here with the same dry wit that you expect, even if the material isn't the best written, but there was one line that did make me chuckle.
Is this all a bit slow for you? Visit the premium shop, where you can buy 20 gems for just $100, which will speed up the rate at which this work is done. Hang on a minute, this isn't a free-to-play game. Just completely ignore what I just said.
So, here's the TLDR then. It's fine. If you have a need for dungeon management and have burnt out on War for the Overworld, give this alternative a shot. I mean, it's got higher ratings on Steam, so that's got to mean something. And if you enjoy it, like really enjoy it, check out Dungeons 3, which is right around the corner. Not that I'm shilling, but you know, might be worth looking into. And that'll just about wrap up this episode of Escape from Mount Sickness. Have you played Dungeons 2? Did you pick it up for free somewhere like I obviously kind of did, I think? Put it down in the comments below. And as always guys, remember to like this video and share it around and subscribe if you haven't already. I do love my subscribers, each and every one of you beautiful bastards. And tune in next time when we look at something nostalgic, but also, in my mind, a little bit revolutionary. Bye.